Rain hammered against the windows, cold and relentless. I was juggling bills at the kitchen table, trying to make sense of numbers that never seemed to add up. Ethan sat beside me, fiddling with his toy car, humming quietly. "Dad, why are you frowning?" he asked, tilting his head. I forced a smile. "Just grown-up stuff, buddy. Nothing for you to worry about." Ethan didn't buy it, but he nodded anyway, turning back to his car. I sighed and glanced at the empty room upstairs. Renting it out seemed like the only option. A knock at the door interrupted my thoughts. Not the polite, scheduled kind of knock. This was frantic, urgent. I opened it to find a young woman soaked from head to toe, shivering and crying silently. Her dark hair plastered to her face, her eyes wide and desperate. Hi, I stammered. "Can I help you?" She looked up, voice trembling. "Please, I have nowhere to go, just let me stay for the night." I hesitated. My first instinct was caution. Stranger danger, scams, all that. But something in her eyes, raw, unguarded fear, I couldn't turn her away. "Come in," I said finally. "Quickly, before you catch a cold." She stepped inside, and the warmth hit her immediately. She shivered less but kept her gaze down. "I'm Jake," I offered, "and this little troublemaker is Ethan." Ethan, ignoring my introduction, walked straight up to her and held out a tiny hand. "Hi, I'm Ethan. You're my friend, right?" Her lips trembled, but a faint smile broke through. "Yes, friend," she whispered. I couldn't help the small laugh that escaped me. "Friend it is. You can sit by the heater for now." She removed her soaked jacket, revealing a simple sweater underneath. She looked ordinary, yet there was a quiet intensity about her I couldn't place. "I'm Olivia," she said finally, her voice barely above a whisper. "Olivia," I repeated. "All right, Olivia. I guess you'll be our guest for now. The room upstairs is free. You can use it tonight." She nodded, eyes darting around the room like she didn't quite trust it. I watched her carefully. Something about her. I couldn't shake the feeling there was more than she was letting on. "Do you have family, anyone?" I asked cautiously, trying to piece together her story. She shook her head. "No, I don't want to talk about it." I sensed the edge of something deeper, pain, fear, maybe both. I didn't press. Instead, I went upstairs to check on the room, sheets slightly frayed but clean. She would manage. When I returned, Ethan was sitting next to her on the couch, whispering things I couldn't hear. She glanced at me, startled, then looked down. The way she softened around my son, it tugged at me unexpectedly. "Ethan, go wash up for dinner, buddy," I said. "But Dad—" "Dinner first," I interrupted gently. Ethan grumbled, but obeyed, pulling Olivia's attention back to me. I don't usually stay with strangers," she admitted quietly. "I don't trust easily," I nodded. "And you shouldn't. But maybe, just for tonight, you can trust me." Her eyes flickered up at me, searching, hesitant. I saw relief mixed with caution. "Okay," she whispered. Hours passed. We shared a simple dinner, spaghetti, nothing fancy, but it felt strange, comforting. Olivia barely spoke, but her presence was magnetic, impossible to ignore. Ethan chatted nonstop, trying to get her to smile. Slowly she did. Tiny smiles, shy glances, laughter hiding behind her hand. At one point, she said softly, "I don't know why, but I feel safe here." That hit me harder than I expected. Safe. Someone my son called a friend, and she, a stranger, felt safe under my roof. My chest tightened. "I'm glad," I said simply. "You can stay as long as you need. No pressure, no questions you don't want to answer." She looked at me, eyes glistening. "Thank you, Jake." And in that moment, I realized I had opened my home, my life, to someone who might change everything. I didn't know if it was for better or worse, but there was no turning back. I didn't notice Ethan quietly fall asleep on the couch beside her, tiny hand clutching hers. The sight melted something in me, a strange mix of hope and dread, excitement and fear. Outside, the rain continued, relentless. Inside, our small living room had become something fragile, warm, and dangerous in its quiet pull. I had no idea who Olivia really was or what she would bring into my life, but somehow, I knew this night was the beginning of everything. The morning light crept through the kitchen window, and I found Olivia already at the table, sipping coffee quietly. She had changed into dry clothes, neat but simple. I didn't know what to say. Should I ask about last night or pretend it hadn't happened? Morning, I muttered, trying for casual. Morning, she replied softly, not looking up. Ethan came bounding in, hair messy, eyes sparkling. Olivia, breakfast? She smiled faintly, reaching over to ruffle his hair. Good morning, Ethan. Hungry? Starving, he yelled. He grabbed a plate and started piling pancakes on it. I shook my head, muttering, This kid. Energy for 10 people. Olivia laughed softly. I caught myself staring. Something about her laugh made the house feel warmer. Later, I caught her folding laundry in the living room. She moved with ease, efficient but careful. You're good at this, I said, leaning against the doorway. She paused, glancing at me. I've had to take care of things before. I nodded, curious but hesitant. Family? She shook her head quickly. Not really, just experience. I sensed she was holding back. Instead of pressing, I let it go. We didn't need explanations for everything. That night, after Ethan went to bed, I poured 2 glasses of whiskey and sat across from her at the kitchen table. You drink? She asked, raising an eyebrow. Sometimes. Helps me think, I admitted. I handed her a glass. Just a little for company. She hesitated, then took it, swirling it carefully. I guess company isn't so bad. We talked cautiously at first about trivial things. Work, errands, bills. But slowly, the conversation turned deeper. I never wanted to be a single dad, I said, staring at my glass. I never imagined raising him alone. Bills, tantrums, the constant worry. My voice faltered. Some nights I feel like I'm drowning. She leaned closer. You're doing your best. That counts for something, I shook my head. Sometimes it doesn't feel like enough. A silence fell, heavy and charged. I looked at her, really looked. She wasn't judging me. She was just listening. You're kind, she said quietly. And honest. Before I could respond, exhaustion and alcohol blurred my resolve. I reached for her hand and she didn't pull away. Jake, we shouldn't, she whispered. I know, I said, voice rough. But I can't help it. One moment and the world narrowed to us. Her hand in mine, the warmth between us. Then the guilt hit immediately, sharp and undeniable. I shouldn't have, I muttered, stepping back. Neither should I, she replied, eyes glistening. But it's okay. It doesn't change anything if we promise. I promise, I cut in, breathless. Discretion. Nothing will come of it outside this house. She nodded, relief and something else in her expression. Something fleeting, almost fragile. The next morning, everything felt normal again, almost. Ethan ran around as usual, laughing, oblivious to the tension lingering between Olivia and me. You okay, Dad? He asked suddenly, tugging my sleeve. Yeah, buddy, I said, ruffling his hair. Everything's fine. Olivia brought him pancakes and juice, humming softly. I watched her from the corner, careful not to stare too obviously. She was magnetic, caring, but also mysterious, holding secrets I didn't dare ask about yet. At work the next day, I found myself distracted. Small things reminded me of her, how she smiled at Ethan, how she listened without judgment, the quiet intensity in her eyes. That evening, when she helped me sort through bills and letters, I noticed a flicker of something she tried to hide. A flash of fear, maybe, or anticipation. You okay? I asked gently. She smiled faintly. I'm fine, really. Just thinking. I nodded, unsure what she meant, but didn't press. Somehow her hidden world felt too big to enter, and I knew I wouldn't find answers yet. By the end of the week, a fragile rhythm had formed. Breakfasts, dinners, small talks, occasional laughter. Life felt lighter but fragile, like a glass ornament balanced on the edge of a table. One wrong move and it could shatter, and I realized I had opened the door not just to a tenant, but to someone who could change everything about my life. Ethan curled up next to Olivia on the couch that night, sleeping soundly. I stood in the doorway watching them, heart tight and restless. Something told me life would never be the same again. It had been weeks since Olivia moved in, and for the most part, life had a fragile rhythm. Breakfast with Ethan, small talk, quiet evenings. But I started noticing things. She'd disappear for hours, sometimes entire afternoons, returning with that faintly cold look in her eyes, like she'd left a part of herself somewhere I couldn't reach. One morning, I found her bag carelessly left on the couch while she showered. I hesitated, then curiosity got the better of me. Sliding a notebook aside, a glossy card fell out. My stomach sank. I picked it up. Carter Enterprises, it read. The sleek design, the gold embossed letters, it screamed wealth, influence, power. I sank into the couch, heart pounding. That wasn't a homeless girl. That was someone else entirely. My hands shook slightly as I called her name. Olivia? She stepped out of the bathroom, towel wrapped around her, hair damp. Yeah? I held up the card. Explain this. Carter Enterprises? What is this? Her eyes widened slightly, and for the first time I saw her defenses slip. She looked away, biting her lip. It's complicated, she whispered. Complicated. I leaned forward. Olivia, you told me you had nowhere to go. That you were homeless. And now this? She sat down opposite me, hands clasped tightly. I didn't lie, I just didn't tell the whole truth. I ran a hand through my hair, feeling the walls of my trust crumble. You didn't tell the whole truth? That's a lot, Olivia. A lot more than I expected, she nodded slowly. I know. I didn't want to bring my life here. My world. I came here to escape, not to create more complications. I stared at her, struggling to reconcile the girl I'd seen for weeks with this new reality. Escape? You have everything. Money, status. You could have anything. Why escape? She looked down at her hands. Because I'm tired. Tired of expectations, of everyone telling me who to be, what to do. I wanted freedom. I wanted to live, not just exist in someone else's plan. My chest tightened. I felt a mix of disbelief, confusion, and anger. So all the smiles, all the help around the house, all the time we spent was just, what? Pretending? No, she said sharply. Her eyes flared, then softened. It wasn't pretending. I am like this when I choose to be. I like helping, I like feeling normal even for a little while. I shook my head, leaning back. Normal, that word, it makes it worse, Olivia. Worse because I trusted you. Worse because Ethan trusts you. Worse because you like me, she interrupted gently, almost teasing. I see it in your eyes. I scowled, heart pounding. That's not funny. It's not meant to be funny, she said softly. It's reality. You feel something and you can't deny it. I can't either. But the truth is messy. I ran a hand over my face. Messy doesn't even begin to cover it. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what's real, what's fake. I don't know if I can trust anything about you. She reached across the table, her hand brushing mine. Jake, look at me. I'm still me. The girl you met, the one who stayed up late with Ethan, the one who laughed at your jokes. That's real. Everything else is just baggage I didn't bring into your house until now. I stared at her, torn. Her hand was warm, her eyes pleading. But the card in my hand felt like a knife, cutting through everything I thought I knew. So, you're Olivia Carter? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Yes, she admitted, eyes locked on mine. Heir to Carter Enterprises. Billion-dollar company? And yes, it's complicated. But I didn't come here for money or status. I came here to live like a person, not an heiress. I felt a storm of emotions, shock, anger, betrayal, fascination, all clashing at once. You could have told me anything. Instead, you let me care for you. Let Ethan trust you. She flinched, guilt flashing across her face. I know I didn't mean to deceive you. I only wanted one place where I could breathe, where I could be me. I leaned back, closing my eyes, trying to process everything. The girl I had welcomed into my home wasn't just a fragile stranger. She was someone powerful, someone dangerous in a way I couldn't yet understand. And still, I felt drawn to her. You're a liar, I said finally, voice low. And yet, I don't want you to leave. Her lips quivered into a small, almost sad smile. Then maybe we can try to rebuild trust, slowly, carefully. I don't want to lose what we have here. I nodded slowly, carefully. But don't lie to me again. Not about something this big. I won't, she promised, eyes sincere. I swear, I felt my chest tighten. I wanted to believe her, even though everything screamed caution. But something told me. This was just the beginning. Her world was bigger than my house, bigger than Ethan, bigger than me. And I didn't know if I was ready for it or if I ever would be, but I also knew I wasn't letting her go, not now, not ever. I tried to keep the house normal for Ethan. Breakfasts, pancakes, laughter that felt almost forced. But my mind was a storm. Olivia's secret weighed on me, gnawing at my trust and my instincts. "Dad, can Olivia stay for breakfast?" Ethan asked, bouncing into the kitchen, backpack in hand. "She's already here, buddy," I said, forcing a smile. "Come sit." Olivia was pouring juice, her expression calm but distant. I caught the faint shadow in her eyes, something I couldn't quite read. "Morning?" I muttered. "Morning," she replied softly. Ethan jabbed at his toast. "You're quiet today." "I have a lot on my mind," I said honestly. "About work?" Olivia asked, glancing at me. "Partly." "About life," I admitted, sighing. "About how fragile everything can feel sometimes." She nodded, placing a hand gently on the table. "I get it. Things aren't always what they seem." I wanted to ask more, to know if she meant herself, but Ethan's laugh cut through my thoughts. I forced myself to focus on him. Later, I switched on the news while cleaning up. A headline caught my attention. "Missing CEO daughter sparks concern in corporate circles." My stomach dropped. I froze. Olivia was the missing daughter. The air in the room felt suddenly thick. "Olivia," I began, trying to steady my voice. She looked up, calm as if she already knew. "I saw it too," she said quietly. "You're in danger," I said, tone sharp now. "People are looking for you. Your family's enemies. Maybe reporters, maybe worse." "I know," she whispered. Her eyes dropped to the floor. "I can handle it." "You can't handle it alone," I said, voice rising. "You're staying in my house, my son. I can't let anything happen to either of you." She flinched. "Jake, please. I don't want you to feel responsible. I need freedom. I can't live under someone else's rules, even yours." "I'm not trying to control you," I said quickly. "I'm trying to protect you. And him." I nodded toward Ethan, who was quietly coloring at the table. She shook her head, eyes flashing. "Protection feels like control sometimes. I've lived my life under orders, instructions, expectations. I can't breathe when people decide my every move." Her words cut deep. I swallowed hard. "You think I'm like them?" "No. You're different," she said softly. "But I don't want you to have to worry. Or decide for me. I can't. You don't get to decide that alone," I said, stepping closer. "You're in my house. You're staying under my roof. And I won't let anything happen to you. Or to Ethan. I don't care who you are or what you think you're used to. I'm keeping you safe." Her lips pressed together, eyes wide. I saw fear, frustration, and relief flicker across her face. I'm not used to anyone standing their ground with me," she whispered. "You're not used to being human," I said softly. "But you are. And here, you can be. And I'll fight for that, even if it means fighting your whole world." A soft knock at the door startled me. Olivia's personal assistant stepped in, tablet in hand, expression tight. "Mr. Harrison," she said formally. "There have been reports circulating about Olivia staying here." "The media? It's spreading fast. She should return with me." I straightened, voice low but firm. "She's not going anywhere. She's staying here, where she's safe." The assistant's lips tightened. "Mr. Harrison, you must understand, her father doesn't decide where she sleeps," I interrupted sharply. "I do, and right now, she stays here." Olivia's eyes softened, glancing at me with something like gratitude. She whispered, "Thank you." I nodded, swallowing my frustration. "Don't thank me yet, just trust me to do what I have to." The assistant left, but the tension lingered. Outside, I could almost feel the invisible eyes watching, waiting. Olivia's world wasn't just complicated, it was dangerous. That night, after Ethan slept, Olivia sat beside me silently. The house was quiet, but the air between us was thick with unspoken truths. "I'm scared," she admitted finally. "Not just of them. Of losing myself. Of losing people I care about." I placed a hand on hers. "You won't lose me. Or Ethan. I'll stand by you no matter what. But you have to let me in. Trust me to fight for you. That's all I'm asking." Her eyes glistened. I'll try. I want to believe that." We sat in silence for a long moment. The hum of the city outside our window a distant threat. I realized then that trust wasn't given lightly, and fear didn't disappear easily. But maybe, just maybe, together, we could face whatever was coming. And even as doubt gnawed at the edges of my mind, I knew one thing for certain. I wouldn't abandon her. Not now, not ever. I couldn't stop staring at her when she told me, The words hit me like a punch I didn't see coming. I'm pregnant, Olivia whispered, voice trembling. I froze. My chest tightened, thoughts scattering in every direction.
You, what?
I said I'm pregnant, she repeated, eyes wide, searching mine. It's from that night, Jake. I didn't plan it. I ran a hand through my hair, pacing. From us? I swallowed hard. How could this happen? What are we supposed to do? She flinched at my panic. I know,
I don't know either.
but I want to keep it. I want the baby. I shook my head, heart pounding. Keep it? Olivia, this changes everything. Ethan, the house, our lives. You don't understand the chaos this could bring. I do understand, she said, voice firmer now. And I don't care about chaos. This baby, it's part of me. Part of us, and I want it. I ran my hands over my face, trying to breathe. Us? Olivia, we barely know each other. And your family. They'll find out. The media. Everyone. This could destroy everything. Her eyes flashed, a mix of defiance and fear. I know, but hiding it? Running? That's not me. I won't do it. I sank into the couch, heart racing. Ethan, he's only 5. How do I explain a second kid? How do I protect you from your father? From his company, the private investigators, the people looking for you. Olivia hesitated. We'll figure it out together. Together? I snapped, then immediately softened. I couldn't help but reach for her hand. You have no idea what this means for us. For Ethan. For everything. I know, she whispered, squeezing my hand. And I'm scared too. But running isn't the answer. I can't just go back to being their pawn. I glanced at the window, thinking of the looming threat. We've already been spotted. People know you're here. Private eyes, media. And your father, he's ruthless. If he finds out, if anyone finds out, my voice trailed off. Then we hide. We protect, she said firmly. Jake, you said you'd fight for us. You mean it, right? I nodded slowly, heart still hammering. I mean it, but we have to be careful. One wrong move. And Ethan, you, this baby, everyone we care about, gone. Everything ruined. Her eyes softened, but the fear didn't leave. I trust you, I have to. You're the only person I can rely on right now. I swallowed, nodding. All right. We'll plan. We'll protect you. But first, I hesitated, voice low. You need to be honest with me. No more secrets, Olivia. If we're doing this, if I'm going to be a father to 2 children, then I need the truth. Everything about you, your world, your family. Now, she looked down, biting her lip. I've tried to keep it hidden. I didn't want this to interfere. But yes, I'll tell you, just not everything all at once, please, I exhaled sharply. Fine, just, I need to know enough to keep you alive. Keep Ethan safe. And protect this baby. That's my job. Hours later, a knock at the door shattered the fragile calm. I jumped, heart pounding. Jake Harrison? A man asked, stepping inside without invitation. Suit, sunglasses, aura of authority. Private investigator. My stomach sank. Yes? I said cautiously. I'm looking for Olivia Carter, he said, scanning the room. She's your tenant? Yes, and she's not leaving, I said firmly, stepping in front of her. His expression hardened. Mr. Harrison, I'm authorized by Carter Enterprises. She must return with me. It's for her safety, and your compliance is expected. I clenched my fists. Safety? You call this safety? Threatening us. Showing up uninvited? Olivia is not going anywhere. Understand? He hesitated, then nodded slightly, but his eyes didn't waver. Very well. But consequences will follow. She is considered missing from her family. Your cooperation is required. I shut the door behind him, heart racing. Olivia's hand found mine again, trembling. Dad, I muttered, voice low. I mean, we're facing something bigger than us, she nodded. I know, and I'm scared. But I have to do this. For the baby. For me. I wrapped my arms around her shoulders, holding her close. Then I'll fight too. No matter what. We'll keep Ethan safe. And this baby. I won't let anyone take you from me. She buried her face in my chest. Thank you. For not running. For standing by me. I kissed the top of her head, feeling the weight of our new reality pressing down. My son, this child inside her, the secrets, the threats, everything was tangled now. Irrevocably linked, and yet I couldn't imagine letting her go. The storm outside our small house raged, but inside I made a silent promise. I would protect them both. No matter the danger, no matter the world that was closing in on us, because this was more than survival now. This was family, and I wasn't letting mine go. I was stacking dishes when a sharp knock on the door made me freeze. My heart dropped before I even opened it. "Jake Harrison," a deep, commanding voice boomed from the other side. I hesitated, then slowly opened the door. Standing there was a man in an expensive suit, eyes blazing with authority and fury. "Olivia's father, you!" I muttered under my breath. "Where is she?" he demanded, stepping forward. "You've been hiding my daughter?" "She's not hiding," I said carefully, stepping in front of the door. "She's here by choice. She's safe." "Safe? Don't insult me, boy. She belongs with her family. And you, how dare you?" His face turned red with anger. Olivia appeared from the living room, her hand on my arm. "Dad, please!" Calm down, he scoffed. "You've been sneaking around, defying me, making reckless decisions. And now I hear you're pregnant?" I blinked. My stomach dropped. "Yes, she's pregnant. And it's not just your business, it's ours. My family, our lives, we're involved now." He froze for a moment, then slammed a hand against the wall. "How could you let this happen? Who do you think you are?" "I'm her partner now," I said, voice firm, though my hands shook. "I'm protecting her, and I'll protect this child. Your threats don't scare me." "You dare speak to me like that?" he growled.
You're nothing.
"You're a lowly—" Olivia stepped between us. "Stop, you don't get to control me anymore." "I am her father," he shouted. "She belongs to me, not to some housekeeper. She's not a possession," I yelled. "She's a person, and she has a right to choose her life. I'm not letting you intimidate us." His face twisted in disbelief and fury. "You think you can defy me? You think money, status, power— I don't need money," I snapped. "I need honesty. I need loyalty. I need my family to be safe. That's what matters. Not your pride, not your empire." He paused, breathing heavily, then stormed back a few steps. "You don't understand her life, her responsibilities, the expectations she's under. You've turned her against her own family." "She's not against anyone," Olivia said quietly, voice trembling. "I'm just done being controlled, done being told what to do, how to live, and I won't apologize for wanting my own life." I felt a swell of pride and fear. She was standing up for herself, but the danger wasn't over. Then my phone buzzed. I glanced down. Messages, news alerts, headlines flashing. CEO's missing daughter found pregnant. Scandal rocks Carter Enterprises. "What the hell?" I muttered. Olivia's eyes widened in panic. "Someone leaked it," she whispered, voice small. "Someone close. Someone I trusted." I clenched my fists, anger boiling. "Who? I don't know yet," she said, tears brimming. "But the media, they're everywhere." "Jake, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. It doesn't matter if you meant it," I said sharply. "We deal with it, together, no running. No hiding, you hear me?" She nodded, burying her face in her hands. "I hear you, I'm scared. What if they hurt Ethan or you?" I crouched beside her, putting an arm around her shoulders. "They won't, not while I'm here. You're not alone in this, and I promise. I'll do whatever it takes to keep all of us safe." Her lips trembled. "Jake, you don't know what my father can do, or who he can send. He doesn't care about anyone but himself." "I know," I admitted, swallowing hard. "And that's why we fight smart. Not with money or influence, but with truth, courage, and loyalty. That's what he can't take from us." Her eyes met mine, wet, but defiant. "You really mean that?" "I do," I said firmly. "I've already made my choice. Your life, this baby, Ethan, they're my responsibility. And I'm not letting anyone, no one, take them from me." The knock on the door returned, lighter this time. A journalist from the media had apparently arrived. "Jake Harrison," he called. "We have questions about Olivia Carter. The world wants to know." I shook my head, voice low and steady. "No, you will not speak to her. Not now, not ever. Leave." The journalist hesitated, then backed off. I closed the door, breathing heavily. Olivia leaned into me, trembling. "Jake, this is too much. I don't know if I can handle it." I held her tightly. "You're already handling more than anyone should. But you're not doing it alone. We'll face everything together. Scandals, threats, her father. None of it matters if we stick together. That's the only way we survive this." Her tears soaked my shirt, but I didn't care. "I believe in us," I whispered. And I will fight for our family. No one will break what we've started. Not him, not anyone. For the first time that night, a faint sense of calm settled over us. Chaos surrounded our home, our lives, but in that moment I realized one thing. Loyalty and courage were more powerful than fear. And I would wield them fiercely for Olivia, for Ethan, and for the child growing inside her. I leaned against the kitchen counter, rubbing my temples. The past few days had been a whirlwind. Olivia's father showing up, media leaks, private investigators circling. I knew we couldn't rely on money or lawyers to keep us safe. We needed strategy, brains, and street smarts. We can't keep hiding, I said, pacing. We need a plan. We need allies who can help without asking questions or reporting back. Olivia watched me silently, folding her hands. I know people, she said slowly. People I trust. From before everything. They helped me escape situations worse than this. I raised an eyebrow. You have allies now? Why didn't you tell me? I didn't think I could trust anyone back then, she admitted. But I've changed. And I trust you now. I nodded, heart pounding. All right. Then we reach out, quietly, carefully. We protect Ethan, the baby, and you. No mistakes, got it? She swallowed. Got it, but Jake? This is bigger than you think. My father, he's ruthless. People don't just disappear when he wants them gone. I know, I said, clenching my fists. That's why we're smarter than him. He expects fear. He expects me to back down. I won't, not this time, she smiled faintly. You've changed since all this started. You're stronger. I'm impressed. I don't feel strong, I said, shaking my head. I feel terrified. But fear doesn't get to win. Not with you and Ethan depending on me. We spent the next few hours contacting her allies discreetly. A friend from a nonprofit who had helped Olivia escape an arranged situation years ago, a former mentor who owed her favors, people willing to shield her from prying eyes. I'll drive some of them here tomorrow, she said. We need a safe place to meet without being spotted. I nodded. Good, and we'll need contingencies. Safe rooms, routes, everything. We can't leave anything to chance. Later, Ethan tugged at my sleeve.
Dad, can Olivia stay for dinner with us?
I want her to eat. She's staying, I said softly. Always, he beamed. Yay. You're my best friend, Olivia. Olivia laughed softly, crouching to his level. And you're my little buddy, Ethan. Promise me you'll help me protect this house. Always, he said. I smiled at the scene, warmth spreading through my chest despite the tension. Protecting them was my purpose. My strength came from them. The next morning, Olivia's allies arrived. They moved quickly, efficiently, taking positions around the property without drawing attention. I watched, learning, absorbing every detail. You're good at this, I said quietly to Olivia. She shrugged. I've had to survive, You fight for more than yourself now. I can see it, her words hit me. I realized how much I had changed too. No longer just a single dad trying to scrape by. I was a protector, a strategist, a father and partner who wouldn't back down. Hours later, a knock at the door made me tense. A neighbor concerned peered in. Jake, everything okay? I heard news about... Well, your guest. I shook my head. We're fine. Nothing to worry about. He hesitated, then nodded and left. Olivia's eyes met mine. The media. They're sniffing around. We can't stay static. We won't, I said firmly. We move on our terms, not theirs. We'll control what's visible, what's not. Your father expects us to panic. We won't. Over the next week, we executed our plan. Olivia reclaimed independence, stepping outside for errands, reconnecting with her allies, and asserting her choices. She refused to let her father's shadow dictate her every move. One evening, she turned to me, expression soft. Jake, I never realized how strong you are, and how much I needed someone like you. Someone who fights for us, not for money or power. I swallowed hard. I'm still scared. Every day, but I'm learning. Learning how to protect, how to fight smart, how to be the man Ethan and this baby need. She reached out, brushing a strand of hair from my face. We make a good team, don't we? I smiled, though my stomach still churned with worry. The best. We fight together. And if my fear can keep us alive, I'll hold on to it forever. The media continued to sniff around, and her father's company tried to dig for leads, but Olivia's allies ensured we stayed 2 steps ahead. Slowly, justice began to unfold naturally. Leaks exposing his manipulations, partners questioning his decisions. Karma was quietly working in our favor. "I never knew it could feel like this," she said one night, sitting beside me on the couch. "To actually choose your own life. To stand on your own." "You're doing it," I said, "and I'm proud. Not just because of what you're surviving, but because of who you're becoming." Her eyes softened. "I never thought I'd have people I could count on. Now, I do. You, Ethan, and these friends who've always been loyal. I see who my real allies are. And I see someone worth fighting for," I said quietly, brushing her hand with mine. "Someone I can't let go." "Not ever," she smiled, leaning against me. "Then let's keep fighting, together." I nodded, heart steady now. The storm outside might rage, but inside we were no longer afraid. I had my family, and I knew, no matter the odds, we could face everything ahead. The house was quiet for the first time in weeks. I watched Olivia in the kitchen, humming softly as she made breakfast, and Ethan playing with blocks on the floor. The chaos that had consumed our lives, the threats, the media, her father's rage, had finally begun to fade. "You're up early," I said, leaning against the doorway. "I wanted to make pancakes," Olivia replied, smiling. "For our little family." I felt my chest tighten. "Little family," I repeated softly. It sounded strange, yet right. The word carried weight now. Responsibility, love, and hope all tangled together. Ethan ran over, giggling. "Dad, look at my tower!" "Olivia, it's for you." I crouched beside him. "That's impressive, buddy. You're going to be an amazing big brother one day," Olivia chuckled, kneeling next to us. "I think he already is." I smiled at the warmth in the room. After everything, we were finally here. Together. Safe. Later, Olivia and I sat on the porch, drinking coffee as the morning sun warmed our faces. "It feels surreal," I said quietly. "All this. And now it's finally calm," she nodded. "I never thought I'd feel this. Free, my father. He's been disgraced publicly. His empire's crumbling, and for the first time, I feel like I'm in control of my own life." "You fought hard for this," I said, brushing her hand with mine, "and so did we together." "I couldn't have done it without you," she admitted. You stayed when others would have run. You protected us all. Ethan, me, the baby. I see now who truly matters." I smiled faintly. "And I see someone worth protecting, worth fighting for. You taught me that, Olivia. You showed me that family isn't just blood. It's loyalty, love, and courage." She leaned against me, sighing softly. "I still can't believe how we started. You, a single dad, renting a room to a homeless girl. And now look at us," I laughed, shaking my head. "I know, it feels impossible. But sometimes, life surprises you. And maybe it's in those impossible moments that everything changes for the better." Ethan ran out with his toy truck. "Mom! Dad, look! I'm driving to the baby's room." I chuckled, ruffling his hair. "All right, little man. Don't crash." Olivia watched him, eyes soft. "You know, I never realized how much I needed someone to fight with me. Not for money, not for status, just for us." "That's the thing about love," I said quietly. "It's not about wealth or power. It's about loyalty, trust. Being there when the world's against you." She smiled, brushing her hair behind her ear. "I guess we learned that the hard way." I nodded. "We did, and I wouldn't trade it. Not the fear, not the fights, not the sleepless nights. None of it, because it brought us here. To this moment. To our family." A gentle breeze carried the scent of flowers from the garden. I felt the weight of the past lift slightly. The threats, the betrayals, they hadn't destroyed us. They'd shaped us. "I've been thinking," Olivia said softly, "about the future. Our baby Ethan. Us. I want to plan it properly. Not let anyone else dictate our lives. We have the chance to build something real." "I agree," I said. "No more shadows, no more fear. We make the rules now, together, and we protect our family above everything." She rested her head on my shoulder. "I feel happy, Jake, really happy. I didn't think I could feel this way after all that's happened." I kissed the top of her head, feeling the warmth spread through me. "You deserve it, we all do. And this time, nothing can take it away." Later, as Ethan napped, we sat together in the living room, hands intertwined. I reflected on the journey, how a simple choice to rent a room had changed everything. Olivia, my son, the child growing inside her. Our lives were irrevocably linked now, and yet it felt right. I can't believe this started with a simple room, Olivia whispered, eyes gleaming. Who would have thought it would end like this? I smiled, squeezing her hand. Life's full of surprises. And sometimes the best things come when you least expect them. We found each other in chaos, and we built love from it. Outside, the sun climbed higher, casting warm light over our home. I realized then that no matter the past, no matter the obstacles, we had each other. That was our power. That was our victory. Olivia rested her head against mine, breathing steady. I'm ready, Jake, for our life, for our family. I held her tightly, whispering, Me too. Always. We'll face everything. Together, and we'll be okay. We'll be more than okay. For the first time in what felt like forever, I truly believed it. We had survived betrayal, danger, and fear. We had learned courage, loyalty, and love. And now, our family, imperfect but ours, was ready to step into a future we could finally call our own.